Well, hello there. Welcome to the Stress Busters Workshop. I'm your host, Dana Green Remedios. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, a natural nutrition consultant practitioner, and a registered nutrition consultant practitioner, as well as being a life coach, money coach, and having a whole bunch of other types of experiences that I will share with you as we get to know each other. And I'm going to share the knowledge that I've picked up along the way, all these habits that I've learned that help to really beat stress and build a life that is full of pleasure. I really think that getting control of our stress is the very first, most foundational thing that we have to do to build a life that is full of pleasure and joy. So let's get started. This isn't a long presentation, but there are some things that I'm going to assign to you to do. So you will need to um, take a bit of time after you've gone through this presentation to go through some of the questions and to answer them. And I want you to reflect on these because these will be the foundation of your stress busting program. So, what is stress busting? It's really identifying those things that we are able to change and making peace with the things that we cannot change. You see, stress actually originates from a feeling of wanting to have control, but not having that control. And then that feels scary. And this causes stress for us. So there are a few things that we can change. We can, work on giving up this need for control. That's one of the things that we can do. We can also work on gaining control of things that we are able to. And then we can work on making peace with the things that are not in our control. So, we're going to work a little bit on these ideas and we're really going to tease them out a little bit and find out more about how we can bust stress. It's really all comes down to this. Now, if you focus on the purple square here, this is really where the pleasure lies. These are the secrets over here. But I'm going to start up at the top and I'm going to ask you to reflect on what you can control. Now, there'll be a handout and some worksheets and things that you can use to work through this. But I do want you to consider the question, what are things that you can control? And if you have that control, then what does that allow you to do? What things can you change, for the better so that you'll be less stressed out? And if you don't have control, is there a way that you can gain control? We're going to look into that a little bit more together. So, one of the things that you can do to get started is make a list of all of the jobs that you need to do, things that you think are your responsibility, things that you get stressed over. So these are tasks that you need to really ask yourself, is it necessary for you to be the person doing these things? Or could someone else do any of them? An example is as an entrepreneur, there's very few things that I need to do to make this business run. I need to show up and do the coaching with people. I need to be the teacher. But do I really need to be the one that answers all of the emails, or do I need to be the one that makes sure that there's printer ink? I don't. And so the more things I can delegate, the things that are, not very important or maybe that have a very low risk if something goes wrong with them, I can definitely delegate those things. So, can someone else do any of your work? Or could you just maybe forget those items completely? Could you scratch them off the list? Because oftentimes we've got things on the list that are just make work projects. I really don't need to do um, a lot of the things that are probably on my list. They're really there. Um, and they're not 100% necessary. For example, if you don't dust your house, that might bother you and it might make you sneeze, but maybe, um, you know, the trade off. of just forgetting about dusting is so worth it that that is something you could consider. Um, and then could you take less time to do them? So, for example, in the case of the dusting, if you are allergic, maybe you can just dust less frequently, or maybe again, you can go back to bullet point number one and you could delegate that to someone else and get a cleaner in some of the time. Or maybe you can delegate to your children. Or maybe there's a way that you could do it more quickly and you can find a time saving way to do that job. And maybe getting rid of a bunch of the knickknacks that you have lying around would make it easier to to dust, for example. So this is one way that decluttering can actually make us less stressed. So now we're going to focus on my favorite square, the purple square, which is listing all the things you wish you could do. This is a time to dream, to ideate, to think about the things you're not doing. And the reason this is important is that to see the big picture of the stress that you're dealing with, you really need to look at and see what it is that you're really missing. I mean, life is not just about what you have to do and getting stressed over what you have to do. It's about what you're missing out on, because as stress goes up, it isn't just that we're, worried that we can't keep up or we're overwhelmed with things. It's really that we're not getting to do what we want to do. We're not enjoying our lives enough for a variety of reasons. So, I'm a nutritionist. Often people come to me because they're not entirely happy with their bodies, or they're not entirely happy because there's things that they um, wish weren't so hard, like they don't have that many foods that they can eat. And part of what's really making them unhappy isn't that it's hard to cook or that it's hard to be in the body that they're in. It's that they're not doing the things that they want to do because of those situations. So we're going to look at ways that we can solve these problems together. Now, once you have your lists, and we're going to work on that, you're going to pick up to three priorities per day. Some people would say three, four, five. I think that, two is even enough. Pick up to three priorities every day, things that you're going to focus on. Now, just stay focused on those things and forget as much as you can anything else that's going on. You really don't have to get everything done every day, just the most important things, the things that really move the dial for you. Now, do make time to move your body and eat well. You want to plan your food out um, as much as possible without getting more stressed out. And then you also want to plan to sleep. You want to actually put it in your calendar or, into your daily schedule, because you do want to get at least 7 hours, maybe even up to 8 hours of sleep every night on a very consistent basis, on a very consistent schedule, because without proper sleep, it makes it very hard to deal with stress. And in fact, it is a source of stress if you're sleep deprived. So make that good effort to sleep, even though it can be harder to sleep when you're stressed out. But I will give you some tips on how to make it easier. So don't worry about that. You can do some deep breathing or meditating to help you relax. If you're a little worried about meditating, don't be. I can teach you very simple ways to meditate. There's all different kinds of ways to meditate. Some of them you'll think, are they so easy? It's like cheating. So don't worry about that whatsoever. And deep breathing or box breathing, that works very well also. You can also try journaling, and any kind of journaling will do. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just write down your experiences during the day. It's great to look back on your day, and after a week or a month, you can gain perspective over how things are going. And actually, just voicing even the bad things is, very helpful to get it out. It sometimes can help people to get a good night's sleep as well, because they've got their worries out. And of course, writing down the good things, like in a gratitude journal, helps us to focus and expand on the good things. So part of what you could write down is to reflect on what went well during the day. And that really does help to counter the focus that we have on the things that went wrong. Every day, I want you to find simple pleasures in things like, Having very good, clean, quality water, which we are very blessed with where I live here in Vancouver. Just naturally coming out of the tap and in our bathtub is beautiful, clean, fresh water. If you have a pet of some kind, then just snuggling with your pet might be an easy, simple pleasure for you. I grow plants on the windowsill and they bring me so much pleasure. Um, Eating a favorite food and really enjoying food is one that I do every day because I love food. If you can, try scheduling a massage. That can be really a wonderful way to enjoy pleasure and enjoy your body as well. If you like the sense of touch, then I would recommend, if you can afford a massage, definitely book a massage. Talking with a friend is always good. There are lots of other ways to enjoy yourself. I've really started to enjoy TV and movies. Maybe it's just people watching out the window or sitting on a park bench. It can be hearing your kids laugh as they play. It could be many things. So try and find those things and really cultivate them. Now, finally, all habits, healthy habits and not so healthy habits, are really just built up through the same mechanism. So, if you can build a bad habit, you can build a good one as well. I'm really going to help to guide you with the process of formulating healthy habits, habits that benefit you and make your life better. And I know that you can do it. So, we can really do this. It is really quite simple, a step by step plan to lower your stress, enjoy your life more. And I'm going to help you to execute this. So every step of the way, I'm here for you. This is going to be something that you can definitely manage. Now, it's not always easy to lower stress, but it is possible. I have the tools for you here, all of the steps for you here. So we can get past the overwhelm and we can get you started. And we're going to get you started right now. So I just want you to go below to the worksheets, download the worksheets, and start filling those out right away. Okay, see you in the next video.